What if the next world war doesn't begin on land or sea or even in the sky, but in space? Above your head, in the silent black void of orbit, the first shots of a new kind of war are already being prepared. Right now, over 7,500 active satellites orbit Earth. They control everything from your GPS to your banking systems, your weather reports to your military intelligence, and even the timing systems that control global finance and air travel. And they're all at risk. Space, once a peaceful domain for science, is now a war zone in waiting. Countries aren't just launching satellites anymore. They're launching weapons. Nations are training military personnel for space operations, and every global superpower is in a race to control low Earth orbit. The United States has created a whole new military branch, the U.S. Space Force. Its mission is simple but bold: dominate space to secure Earth. China has satellites with robotic arms that can push or capture other satellites. Russia has tested anti-satellite missiles, shattering old spacecraft into clouds of dangerous debris. Even Germany, long dependent on allies for space access, is now planning to launch over 100 defense-focused satellites. Why? Because the one who controls space controls Earth's infrastructure. Take out a satellite, and you take out global internet GPS guidance for planes, ships, and military equipment, real-time battlefield intelligence, secure military communication, even power grid synchronization. Space warfare is invisible, silent, and potentially catastrophic. Imagine a war breaking out, but instead of tanks crossing borders, a satellite suddenly blinks out, then another. Suddenly GPS fails across entire regions. Missile defense systems go dark. Military units are blind. Civilian aircraft lose navigation. Chaos spreads, all without a single shot being fired on Earth. This is space war, and it has already started. In 2007, China deliberately destroyed one of its own satellites with a missile. The result? Over 3,000 pieces of debris flying uncontrollably through space. In 2021, Russia did the same, triggering widespread international concern. These are not just tests, they are messages. Destroying satellites is dangerous not just for the enemy, but for everyone. Debris from one destroyed satellite can crash into others, causing a chain reaction known as Kessler Syndrome. The result? A cascading wave of destruction that could cripple global satellite networks for decades, making large parts of space completely unusable. But destruction isn't the only strategy. Cyber warfare in space is even more subtle. Hack into a satellite, take control of its systems, shut down its signal, or worse, feed it false information. Space warfare can disable a country's capabilities without them even realizing what's happened. And that's what makes this war so dangerous. It's not only global, it's invisible. You don't need bombs or bullets to win a space war. You just need control of data, orbits, signals, and satellites. And the world's biggest powers are scrambling for that control. America's Space Force is just the beginning. NATO has now declared space a critical operational domain. France, India, and Japan are building space surveillance capabilities. Private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are being pulled into national defense plans. Everyone wants a seat in orbit before it's too late. So how did we get here? The simple answer: reliance. We've become dependent on space for everything, yet we've built almost no defense system for it. There are almost no space laws regulating warfare. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty forbids nuclear weapons in orbit, but says nothing about lasers, cyber attacks, or robotic arms. There's no global enforcement agency, no penalties, no protection. And that means anything goes. The next war could be triggered by a satellite malfunction, or a rogue actor hacking communications, or a military exercise mistaken for an attack. Once war begins in space, Earth will feel every consequence. Civilian lives will be affected immediately. Imagine a world where your Google Maps won't load. Your Uber can't reach you. Flights are grounded. ATMs stop working. Emergency services can't coordinate. All because a handful of satellites were knocked offline. This is the new frontier, not of exploration but of confrontation. The real war isn't coming. It's already started. It's being fought in data packets, orbital shadows, and targeted interference. And yet almost no one is talking about it. Most people still think of space as something distant, irrelevant to their lives. But the truth is, you use space every single day. You rely on it for time, communication, travel, security, and information. If those systems go down, even for an hour, the ripple effect could be catastrophic. This is why world powers are preparing for a future that's no longer theoretical. It's already happening. Militaries are developing electronic warfare satellites, robotic interceptors, AI-driven space monitoring systems, ground-to-space missile shields. This isn't just an arms race. It's a technology race, one that will determine who dominates Earth by dominating orbit. So what can we do? We must demand stronger international laws, transparency in military launches, global agreements on debris management, collaborative efforts for peaceful space usage. Because if we don't act now, we may soon lose the ability to act at all. Satellites are our lifelines, and they're now under threat. The silent war above Earth is real, dangerous, and gaining speed. Whether you know it or not, you're already part of it. Because in the next World War, the first weapon may not be a missile. It may be a satellite quietly falling from the sky. If you found this video eye-opening, if you believe more people should know what's really going on in space, then please, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with someone who still thinks satellites are just for TV signals.